Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to the Jaycast podcast. I am your host Jay,
And Jay.
and you guys might be hearing a little echo. That's because we're doing some renovations, and by we I mean Jay. So he moved the studio and stuff to the other room.
And it's episode 20.
Yes. First off, we want to apologize to you guys. Last week we didn't have an episode. We had an episode recorded and everything. And when we were getting ready to upload it, we found out that there was some weird noises. That's fine. There was some weird noises, and it was skipping. The quality was horrible, so we could not give you guys that bad of a product. We've given you some bad products before, and told you to just hold your nose and eat it, but that was too much even for us. So we're back in this episode, and we have a couple of things to talk about. Let me talk about Hollywood really quickly. We're gonna get into the Sound of Freedom, but I first want to talk about Snow White. Who's the one with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right?
Yeah, I kind of heard about that. I was reading the article, and they're talking about, they even mentioned the whole mermaid movie and how like there was people that were they didn't like the fact that they had Halle Berry as the mermaid, and then when it came to Snow White, I don't know what happened.
But that's not wasn't Halle Berry, the mermaid. It was some other chick. She looked a little bit like Halle Berry. But
Dude? The article I read mentioned Halle Berry as the actress that played the mermaid.
Not in this one.
The new movie.
Not in the new movie.
Damn, yo.
Yeah.
I was probably reading the wrong article.
Yeah. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs might have come under some controversy, but not exactly for what people think it is. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? What do you picture when you hear that? Brief, just straight up Snow White, Seven Dwarfs. What pops into your head?
A white lady with seven short people.
Right, seven people who have their genetic makeup causes them to not grow past a certain height. Well, in this rendition, this should be easy money, right? Just pick some random white lady and seven dwarfs.
Pretty much, yeah.
But nah, we gotta controversialize everything. Snow White is fine. It's fine. They got a Hispanic woman, girl, but to me that's not a big deal. The big deal came when they're not dwarfs, dude.
What? They made them like regular sized people?
There's one dwarf, what you would consider a dwarf. And ladies and gentlemen, when we say dwarfs, we don't mean that in the meaning way. What we mean is the term that they use, dwarf. Now somebody can educate us and tell us what is the proper term to use. What's the word? Politically correct?
Yeah, politically correct, yeah.
But so seven dwarfs weren't actually dwarfs. There is one dwarf and then six other average height people.
With the freak,
all diverse, a diverse cast, the most diverse cast.
So different races.
A black guy, a white guy, a black girl, a white girl. They probably got a couple of trans in there.
Yo.
They probably got some definitely some LGBTQ people in there.
Wait, was this? Did they disclose who the actors are going to be? How they're going to look, or was it just like a?
I didn't dig that deep. I just saw like these guys aren't dwarfs.
Yeah.
Some people might have been like, oh, that's good. We're changing the narrative. Well, what about the dwarves who are in Hollywood who wanted to act?
Yeah.
This could have been a perfect role for them, and they got robbed for that because somebody wanted to be politically correct.
Damn, dude, it seems like not only like people in women's sport, women in women's sports are getting like ripped off. It seems like everyone that's worked hard on a certain skill set.
And I'm not saying that these guys didn't work hard, like the new Seven Dwarfs. What I'm saying is, bro, I would imagine, and I don't know, but I would imagine that as we apologize if the word dwarf is offensive. We don't mean to be offensive to them, but I would imagine if you're a dwarf, you have a difficult time landing roles in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And here comes a movie that's made specifically for you, and somebody wanted to be like, well, no, we want to change the narrative, or we want to make progress, and then you just get robbed off. 7 people just got robbed. 6 people got robbed off their jobs because somebody wanted to be, quote unquote, politically correct. Now, if you listen to Tim Dillon's podcast, he seemed, and I could be wrong, but he seemed to have been blaming Peter Dinklage Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Peter Dinklage was the guy who played Tyrion in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So he actually, I believe, and I could be mistaken, but Peter Dinklage might have come out a while back and said, like, come on, really? Like, 7 dwarfs, so you're going to get dwarfs? Like, come on, let's change that.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah, he might have had some kind of problem with the 7 dwarfs.
Or maybe they they changed around what he said.
Well, maybe, but all I can tell you is that Tim Dillon kind of went in on him. Watch that podcast. Tim Dillon went in on him, and he was like, yeah, you know what? Peter Dinklage crossed the bridge, and then he raised the bridge for the other dwarfs behind him so they don't get...
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man.
So like, who are they trying to cater to, like, nowadays in Hollywood?
They don't even know anymore because nobody's happy about what they're producing. Clearly, like, some of these movies should be hits.
Yeah.
It's so simple. Like, hey, The Little Mermaid, getting a live action remake. Leave it exactly the same. Leave it exactly the same, and that's it. And the money comes in. There's no controversy. It's just a regular movie.
Is there like some sort of movement or people that are complaining?
Of course.
Like, who's complaining?
UFC. I love the way Dana White handled that.
Oh.
You saw that?
No, not really.
Bro, there was a UFC fighter from South Africa who was he looked straight up white.
Yeah.
He won the fight. Israel Adesanya came into the UFC, into the octagon.
Yeah.
You know, with Dana White's permission. And he was like, "What's up now?" Like, they was just mouthing off. And he kept calling the white guy the N-word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, "What's..." Look at the colloquial way that they use it on the streets. Like, "What's up, N-word? What's up, N-word? What's up?" And then I guess Izzy and the guy, they're gonna face off in the future. But then they ask Dana White in the press conference, and Dana White is like, they were like, "Dana White, so what do you think about Izzy and the face off with the guy with the racial?" Some people saying there was some kind of racial undertones, and Dana White was like, "Racial undertones? What were the racial undertones?" Like, well, you know, he used the N-word line, and then Dana White's like, "Yeah, but he's black." Like, he kind of like he's black. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Well, you know," he's like, and then Dana White is like, "Well, are people upset about that?" And that's not, he used a more vulgar word. And they're like, "Yeah, people are upset." He's like, "Of course they are. Of course. You know what? Too bad. This is the fight business." But pay close attention. Dana White is the boss.
Yeah.
When you're the boss, you can talk like that. He's like, people are gonna say mean things. People are gonna say nasty things. This is the fight business. It is what it is.
Not only that, I think every leader in every industry should do that. You know what I mean? Take charge, because what ends up happening, they're letting media influence their business, and then they should be able to take charge and, you know, just shut stuff like that down.
And UFC is the perfect sport. UFC is the perfect sport. Dana White, he was probably like a promoter back in the day. You got a problem with it? Let me know what you want to do. We'll set it up. Yeah. Sign the contract, and we'll put you in the octagon, and you fight for what you believe in with your fists. Yeah. You're not gonna do that. Get out. Too bad. Tough. It's the fight business. Yep. You notice how you didn't hear about that? You notice how there was no controversy there? There was no Dana White. Number one, Izzy's black, so he said the N-word colloquially, the way people in the streets use it. Yeah. Right? The way rappers use it. Dana White was like, yeah, okay, he's black. He said the word. Like, what was the racial thing?
Yeah, they're trying to make a big deal about it.
Trying to make a big deal out of it. Bro, this is the UFC. Bro, there's one thing that's not going to go woke is the UFC. Yeah. This UFC. There are other MMA promotions that let men to female transitioners fight. Yeah. I don't think UFC, hopefully UFC will never do that.
I don't think so. I mean, as long as Dana's in charge, and So talking about movies in Hollywood, did you hear about that movie called
the Sound of Freedom?
Yeah, The Sound of Freedom, man.
That movie, bro. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm hopefully still in theaters. But the thing about that movie, bro, for those of you guys who don't know, The Sound of Freedom is a movie. I don't know if the word chronicling is the right word, but it chronicles the life of Tim Ballard, who used to be a former agent. I don't know what agent he was. I don't know if he worked for Interpol. I don't know if he worked for the CIA or whatever. And it's a movie that chronicles his life post agent work.
I think it's Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. Yeah. And it chronicles his life as a former Homeland Security guy who was working to stop child trafficking in certain areas, not worldwide, but certain areas. I think he used to be a Homeland Security agent or something like that. He called Washington, and this I'm paraphrasing here. Watch the movie. It's called The Sound of Freedom. He called Washington and said, "Hey, they're trafficking kids here. Can we do something about this?" And they're like, "We're not worried about what happens in other countries. Come back home." and he actually didn't come back home, and he quit.
Wow.
He quit. He told us he had 6 kids, and he told his wife like, "Yo, you know,
Like, this is bigger than me.
he's bigger than me." His wife was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." His wife, I think, I believe she's a Christian woman.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, there's no way you can like turn away from that. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way. We'll make something work."
Wow.
She didn't say that word for word verbatim, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think she told him, according to him, she told him that she's not gonna let him jeopardize her salvation by turning his back on these kids, like eternal salvation, like religiously speaking.
Yeah.
And he just went at it, bro. They got videos of him not him by himself, like going in like Rambo, but of him and the local authorities. I think of like Colombia or Guatemala, one of those places, going in and
So
busting.
he teamed up with the
He teamed up with the local
authorities.
authorities to like stop these guys. And
Damn, so I wonder how that worked. If he was part of the USA government agency, now he's like in a foreign lands, right?
they got connects. Like, bro, if you used to be a former boy of mine,
Yeah.
and you call me up like, "Yo, I need your help. Can you give me some resources for this?" I'm like, "All right, some people owe me
Yeah,
a favor."
I guess he had a high position or something.
It doesn't, yeah, but he met somebody. Let me call in some favors with some of my CIA people that
Yeah,
down there. Boom.
yeah.
You get some random guy named Eduardo shows up. It's like, "Hey,
Eduardo?
you're Tim Ballard. Here's your package."
Yeah.
Shows up, and yeah, and they you know, it talks about how he was busting child, you know, movers. I think the word traffickers.
When did this happen? Like, what year is this based out of?
10, 15 years ago, maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. It stars Jim Caviezel, a devout Catholic,
Yeah.
an actor who was on his way up in Hollywood. Like, he was a really good actor, but I guess it came to a point where his religion collided with, or his belief collided with Hollywood.
So he fell out of grace with Hollywood.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't care. Like, no, I'm serving
Yeah.
God. I'm serving Jesus. Jesus died. He actually played in the Passion of the Christ. He played Jesus Christ, Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care. I fall out of grace with Hollywood. Don't give a freak. And he starred in the movie. Jim Caviezel played Tim Ballard in the movie.
Yeah.
And basically, it shows kids being moved or kidnapped, and them. It wasn't like a guy going around saving. It wasn't the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's a story.
It was PG-13, right? I think
so.
Yeah.
But it's a story, you know, where he goes around, he finds his little boy, he finds his sister, he finds a whole bunch of people. What I find scary about that is that Tim Ballard said he saw like some of the stuff that they were doing. According to Jim Caviezel or Tim Ballard, I apologize if I'm misquoting whoever. They have actual baby farms.
Wow.
Where they get people pregnant and give birth to babies, let them grow just for that.
Just for that.
Just for that. And
So he busted down, like he took
I don't know
down,
if he busted down any baby farms, but I know he busted down trafficking
Yeah.
events. And they
That's
have
insane, dude.
it's disgusting.
It's like they were using kids as some way, like a drug, right? You move the product around.
yes. It's disgusting. I don't care if we get. I don't care, bro. The thing is this too. He was out here talking about. How do I explain it? He was talking about how the stuff that he was seeing while he was investigating was stuff like scary, weird stuff that you would not ever suspect. And he's like, no, we gotta put a stop. We gotta bring awareness to this somehow.
And this was in what country?
So some of these countries were in South America, okay. In other places, it was in Africa,
Yeah.
where they kidnap kids and do stuff to them because they think it'll do something for them, for the people who kidnapped them.
So he was actually traveling to all these different countries,
yeah. Bro,
because we're all connected somehow.
you know what the scary thing was? He said that one of the biggest consumers of this, of child
Yeah.
stuff, was the United States.
Wow.
Somebody in the United States is consuming this product, and we don't know who it is. We know who it is. And if you people watching or listening at home, if you guys don't know who it is, and you want a hint or clue, look at who's defending, or look who's talking down on this movie.
Yeah.
Look who's trying to downplay this movie. Listen closely to the people trying to say that this movie is nothing more than just a. Well, there's a letter going out there that's associated with conspiracy theories that that we're not able to. Man, nah, man, come on, bro. With the Q movement, QAnon movement.
Yeah.
Look at those people. Look at the people trying to say that this movie is nothing more than a QAnon paranoia conspiracy theory, as if Epstein's Island wasn't a real thing. The same people that were covering up Epstein's Island are the same people now who are talking about that this movie is nothing more than some sort of conspiracy. Rolling Stones said something along the lines of, "Oh, this movie is for like a boomer dads who want to pretend to be superheroes."
Wow.
I thought, who am I kidding? No, I didn't. But there are people who believe that when the topic of children comes along, that we can depoliticize and say, okay, well, now with our kids, we could all agree that the safety of our kids is paramount. Neil Oliver from CBN, I think that's the thing, he said a society that doesn't protect its children, that doesn't put the safety and protection of their children first, is not a society worth having. And I agree with that. Yeah, CNN, Rolling Stones, all these other companies out here saying, oh, this is a conspiracy theory movie. Like, bro, Epstein's Island was a real thing. Kids get trafficked all the time. That's not a conspiracy theory. The real conspiracy theory is, why are you guys
Downplaying this.
it? When the hashtag me 1+1 movement came out,
Yeah.
you like that one?
Yeah.
These same people,
1+1.
when the hashtag me 1+1 movement came
Yeah.
out, these people, the same people downplaying this, are the same people who said, believe all women,
Yeah.
find out who did this, protect these women. It was been hidden in Hollywood for so long, and now it's coming out to the light. We got to find out who did this. But now that this is coming out as well, it's not getting the same attention.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Kids are more vulnerable too. It's like
Kids don't fly out to California to become movie stars and then get exploited. Kids get exploited from the womb, as with the baby factories.
Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense if you step back and look at the type of people that CNN and Rolling Stone magazine and all the peripheral news agencies that have similar views. It makes perfect sense when you realize what kind of people they are.
Yeah.
And they're doing exactly what you think or what you thought that these type of people will be doing. And so with the whole movie Sound of Freedom, we tell you guys that I do recommend that you guys watch that movie. It's very, very important. Don't let the people who say that who are trying to downplay this movie, don't let them deter you from watching the movie. We gotta protect the children. If we can't protect the children, then what happened to us? If somebody told me, hey, there's a kid down the street getting physically, things done to this children, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, well, what do you believe in? Well, you got a MAGA hat on. I don't know if you're even telling the truth. Or you got a CNN shirt on. I don't know if it's telling the truth.
Damn.
Can we at least put that to the side and protect the kids? Nope. Because now it's politicized. Now, and I hope, man, God willing, that this turns into some kind of thing where it's like the line is drawn so clearly that you either oppose protecting kids or you're pro protecting kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, if that happens, bro.
I hope it's like, yo, why are you downplaying this? Well, it's just a conspiracy. No. It happens. People are trafficked every day. Kids are being trafficked from Mexico into the United States. The biggest consumer of this type of content, and probably the children themselves, are here in the United States. And before anybody calls it a conspiracy theory, what was happening in Hollywood with the hashtag me 1+1 movement is probably just the tip of the iceberg compared to what they do to these children.
Yeah.
And here you have guys coming out, a devout Catholic who just was willing to throw his upcoming rise in Hollywood away just for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he felt like it was that important. And you guys, and your idea is not to like investigate further. Your idea is to brush it off. Then I want to say this right here, right now. Then I believe that those news agencies are also part of that. They're also with them. They're also running cover for them so that they can continue. So that the people who are accused of doing this can continue doing this. And for those of you guys who are listening and don't care, and you have kids, keep in mind, one group of people wants to protect their kids, one group of people wants to protect their kids and warn you about people out there trying to take your kids, and the other group of people are trying to downplay it and act like kids aren't getting kidnapped.
But the thing is, like, even in the organizations you mentioned, like, wouldn't you think that the majority of the like leadership and workers are against it? That they do care about children?
I think what happens is, and I think we had this discussion before. I think what happens is, like, if like a low level employee stumbles across this, what he does is he reports it to his higher up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the higher up says we'll take care of it. He reports it to his higher up.
You don't think the people in the higher ups are that they care? They're against the whole child.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh, well, I delegated already. I reported it over there. They'll handle that. Some people are just like, hey, I just send it over there. They'll handle that.
So the people on top are with it. They're okay with it.
I think they're partaking in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it makes sense that they're downplaying it.
Yeah, because they're partaking in it. Like, you imagine that, they're trying to cause mass panic. Like, bro, people are taking kids from third world countries and bringing them here. And they have videos in the movie.
Yeah.
They have a video of a guy or of a group of a child trafficking bus. Like, everybody on the floor. I'm not even going to say what I would have done, but child traffickers, they don't... If I see you in the vicinity of a child trafficking case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be very weary of letting you get to trial, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh no, look, I'm DA. I was working with them too. Blah blah. It's like,
Do you see things changing though? Now that there's more awareness on this, do you think that eventually what's going to end up happening is that people are going to like, I don't know, petition or do something?
I don't think so, man. People don't care, bro.
So the people that
I feel like there was some.
Why is it that those that don't care are making more noise?
Well, there's enough people that care that the movie's doing really well in the box office, but there are people who trying to downplay it. Like, imagine if this was a big thing and all the outlets were talking about it and like you gotta watch this. You have to watch this movie. It talks about this. Bring awareness to the little ones, bro. Bring awareness to for the sake of the little ones, bro. In the Bible, it says the Bible doesn't look too kindly on people who abuse kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Bible made it really clear. There was no room for it's taken out of context or misinterpretation. Like, nah, man, they were really clear on people who abuse kids.
Do you remember that? I think it was like
In the Bible, not they.
Do you remember like this? It wasn't a movement, but it was like this warlord in Africa, Coney.
You saw how big that?
Yeah, that got big. What? I don't understand. Why is it that this can like become like some sort of movement?
I don't know either, bro. I don't know.
Maybe I think it's because the fact that they downplay everything that you see in media, that they think it's a lie. I think it comes to that. They think it's a lie.
They have videos, bro. They have a former agent telling you, like, bro, what's the difference?
Yeah, but they don't display that in the media. That's the thing.
Yeah, and
you have to actually go and see the movie. So
the thing is, what's the difference between a former agent telling you that, yo, this is happening to kids, versus a former Hollywood actress saying, yo, I was done this way?
Yeah.
How come you believe her over this guy?
They're not. I don't think they're showing it in the media like the regular channels that the older generation watches.
But my thing is, like, how come she wasn't brushed off by the media? By today's media, as some sort of conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
How come he is? How come this guy who used to be a former agent is brushed off? How come the guy who was rising up in Hollywood and then put his faith so far into his life, so deep into his life, that he was willing to just fall from grace in Hollywood and not care about it, and he comes out and he says, no, this is a real thing, like this is happening and blah blah. How come these guys aren't treated with the respect that they deserve? How come they're trying to be brushed off as conspiracy nuts?
I think they just mentioned them. Like, when they released the movie, they probably mentioned it, July 4th and stuff. Especially they released it in the national holiday of the USA. So I think what happens is that it gets lost, man. It gets lost through all the other news.
There's a good hopeful thing where it came out around the same time Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny came out.
Yeah.
It beat it.
That's true.
It beat it, bro. Indiana Jones, the budget for that movie was like $300 million, and I think they only made like.
But did they mention that in the news? Did they talk about it?
Not really.
Yeah, that's why.
But it mentioned that they made like 270 mil at the time.
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom, the budget for that one was like 14 mil, and it's almost at 100 mil right now, bro.
Wow.
So there is like people are looking at them like, yo, this is the most important movie.
Yeah.
In our lifetime possibly, because and the media doesn't talk about it. Donald Trump talked about it. Dana White talked about it. The men that you expect to talk about it talked about it.
Yeah.
I think PBD, shout out to Valuetainment. One day we're gonna be in there. They talked about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you saw he had Anthony Weiner on his podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of crazy.
Yo,
that was crazy.
The
He put
amount of
pressure, bro.
Bro, the amount of respect Patrick Bet David, I think, received from bringing him on board and just applying. You gotta do, but that's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta treat these people.
Yeah,
bro.
the thing is, he kept his composure, and not only that, he kind of mentioned. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we both saw the interview, and he mentioned the fact how before he even started the podcast, he was being disrespectful to Patrick from the get go.
Yeah, this ain't Washington DC, fam. This is you in my house now.
Yeah, who
bro.
are you? Who owns this? Like he had he was acting dumb, I guess, in a way.
Same way he was acting when he got caught with the laptop.
Yeah, pretty much. He was going around the bush, man. And when he was asking him the hard questions, it took him like a good 5 minutes for him to actually just get direct to the answer.
You gotta shout out to Patrick and David.
Yeah, he's really good, man.
Because this wasn't just a person with a different political point of view.
Yeah.
This was possibly a monster who got off scot-free because he's friends with the right people.
Yeah. And I agree with Patrick David, man. He's known to ask hard questions.
Allegedly.
Man.
All that stuff that we're saying is allegedly. Now he put his foot on his, he applied pressure, bro. He applied pressure, and he did him the way he was supposed to do him. He brought up all those names, and he was like, trying to sound indignant.
Yeah, he reversed everything.
And he's
trying to make him
guy,
feel, yeah, he's trying to make him feel like
no, because PBD didn't harm those people.
Yeah.
Right?
Didn't, yeah.
And he was like, now you gotta, the family of these people. Well, what about the family of the 15-year-old girl you were sexting?
Yeah.
What about her family? You know what I mean? Now you want to act indignant because he's putting, boy, freak off.
That's crazy because it makes you. I mean, you could tell that he was a politician the way he was conducting. Well, the way he was acting or
being a politician. Being a politician was the least of his misdeeds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that was a really good
shout out to PBD.
podcast. Yeah.
Shout out to the whole entertainment crew, even to Adam, because those guys, you might not agree so much with what Adam says or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that those guys were quiet and just let this guy squirm.
Yeah.
Just like, yo, you can't be walking up and down the street freely, bro.
Yeah.
You got caught sexting a 15-year-old girl, but we don't even know what you were doing behind the scenes.
The thing is, he kept trying to make himself look as a victim, man.
Allegedly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, allegedly.
Bro,
Yeah.
when evil is exposed, it gets angry.
Yeah.
So what you got to do is you got to laugh at it.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere.
And I think you also you have to stand your ground and continue to because what I noticed when it comes to evil people, they kind of try to twist the truth.
Allegedly, evil people.
Evil people. They try to twist the truth, right? And they try to make you they try to bring you down to their level.
Righteous indignation, and also, but they try to have a righteous indignation of, how dare you? I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response.
Yeah.
Like, bro, your laptop, my man. What was under that folder that said insurance? Anthony Weiner? Huh?
Damn.
Or maybe Huma might know. Or maybe Hillary Clinton might know.
They try to disassociate himself from the Clinton family.
Of course he did.
But yeah, he still has loyalty and respect for them. It's bro, it's
well, some people got dirt on some people. So yeah, man. I was watching this thing, switching topics here, to gender relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, or not even back in the day, last year, when when guys used to ask women what do they bring to the table, and certain people got upset about it.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, what do you mean? These guys, they're just asking that blah, blah. And they were just going in on some guys. Or some guys, too wary or concerned about dating women who weren't at their level, who were just trying to get a come up. And women were kind of going at them and getting upset with them.
Yeah.
Well, there's another movement now with women, because women getting their money and, doing their thing. Other women are warning other women about, don't let these guys come up for a come up. Some of these guys are trying to come up for a come up. And it's like, oh
shit, I didn't hear about this.
Oh, okay. So you guys do understand.
Yeah.
You guys do understand that when you work hard for something, you can't just let somebody come into your life, no matter how much you love them, no matter how much you think you love them. You can't just let them come into your life and swindle you out of all that.
Yeah.
So you're warning your people over stuff that you were shaming the opposite sex for. Oh,
I think they were always aware of it too.
Oh, of course they were always aware of it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now you want to say, watch these guys who don't do this, who don't exercise, who don't have their money right. Who don't, so you guys were finding that concept so hard when Kevin Samuels was out here talking about it.
Rest in peace.
Now, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with some of his takes or not, is no. But work out, be in shape, get your money right, look presentable. How dare you have these unreachable standards for women or whatever the case is? But now it's like, oh no, they don't want to date guys if they don't have their act together. Oh, really? Because it's not. You're gonna find out. And the lady, her name is Bourbon Bougie.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna find out that it's more than just a man-female thing. It's about letting somebody into your life who doesn't have their act together, or who does have their act together, and protecting your finances and all your hard work. It was never anything to do with being against women.
Yeah, it was nothing personal.
It was never anything personal.
Yeah.
Now the insults to women who were trying to get with men with resources, those insults might have been personal. And I'm not for insulting people. But the fact is, women are now learning, much like men had to learn since forever, because everything's changed now, that when you work for something, right, you don't let somebody come into your life and just swindle you out of it.
Yeah.
When men were being warned against that or warning other men about that, it was who hurt you.
Yeah.
Why do you don't like women? You dislike women. You're anti-women. You're a misogynist. You're this and you're that. But now women are doing it, and it's, yes, sis, you're so right. And everybody has, all these women now, they all have stories, and all those stories are respected and validated because I knew a guy who did this, he was trying to do this, he was trying to do that. They're respected, they're validated. Guys aren't coming out here saying, well, now all men are like that, because not all men are like that.
Yeah. So now that you see more women are becoming more successful,
Good for them, by the way.
Like, what other consequences of success do you see them like going through now? Now that they're more successful, that men have been going through for years. We just don't for the majority of the part of it, we don't complain. We just deal with it.
It's basically everything that's been said already. I'm not gonna say anything new. I mean, I'll repeat what has been said already. Basically, it's women, their money. Their hard wiring hasn't caught up to the social restructuring.
Yeah.
So they still want a successful man, an equal man or a higher man, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not saying that none of this stuff is mine. I'm not saying anything new. If you're a woman and you're 35 or you're 40 and you're doing well, you're making good money, you want a guy who's similar to your age. But outside of that, you want a guy who's doing well as you and making as much money as you. Those guys, if they're single, don't tend to go for women that age. They tend to go for younger women.
Yeah. It's a biological reason for that too.
It's a legit biological reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and again, women are shaming guys for doing that too. Eventually, when their biological hardwiring catches up, and they start dating younger guys, they'll find a way to justify that too. And we're gonna be like, hey, look, man, do you? They're gonna justify it with, no, these guys are younger and they got more stamina. And woo, child. And they're gonna be saying all these funny things and all these.
But they're gonna find out sooner enough that they're not gonna take them serious.
Yeah, but they know that. That comes afterwards, right? Because now, most older men who know these things know that these younger women are only with them for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope that when women who are getting their money, and good for y'all, when y'all start saying, you know what, I'm gonna date younger guys for fun, trying to be men, trying to do what men do, I hope that they're also warned that these guys are also on the come up as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now that you mentioned that, there has been a lot of situations that I've heard of young guys getting trapped. Like, girls are at a certain age and they actually sleep with the younger men because they want to. They don't even care about being with the young guy. They just want to be able to procreate and have a child.
Oh, that's something new.
They trap the guy.
Yeah, that's an unintended consequence. Yeah. But basically what I'm trying to say is, women, yes, protect your money. Protect all your hard work.
Yep.
But also, I ask that you understand that when men are trying to do the same thing, that you don't shame them. That when men are out here trying to say, what do you bring to the table? That you now
Understand.
that you understand with all your hard work and all your money, you would want somebody to come to the table with something.
Yep.
Not somebody who comes to will come up. And I think as I get older, I think both men and women have legitimate grievances of the opposite sex based on their experience, right? I can show women stories about men and how they got screwed over by women
Yeah.
that they would even agree with, right? And I can show men stories of how women got screwed over by men and they would agree with it. I think we came to the table honestly and openly. That'll be a first start. We can't keep holding, men cannot keep holding up the worst of women as a reflection of women, of the general women population, and women can't keep holding up the worst of men as a reflection of the men population. There has to be something that says,
and that's what's being portrayed right now.
yeah. It's a war.
That's
It's a straight up war.
But those are that actually don't want it, because from what I've seen is exactly what you said, that people are just basically insulting each other back and forth.
Yeah.
And the ones that actually understand and don't entertain that are not speaking up. So that's
nobody gets online to like violently say how happy they are with their relationship. But yeah, I think.
Do you think that more people that are actually have, so to say, a successful relationship should speak out more?
Yeah, but
or
they
should
probably
they be,
won't.
or they should be quiet and just stay out of it.
They probably won't because like I'm taking care of my kids. I'm my husband or my wife. I'm too happy. I don't care.
Yeah. And also another thing is that when you're put on the spotlight, there's other people that let's just say you have a really good relationship. What ends up happening is that others try to like sabotage.
But there's some morons out there like what if you come home and your wife is giving head to 10 guys? Now what? Like, damn, dude. Like,
they go to the most extreme situation.
Relax, man. Relax. And you know.
Yeah, that happens on both sides.
I think both sides have to come to the table and be like, look, I'm successful. You're successful. Okay? Let's start with that. What advice would you like to see us give to the young guys to be better partners for you guys?
Yeah.
And we want to give you guys some pointers for you to tell your women how to get successful guys. Can we do that? Can we come to an agreement?
This sounds like war, like
like peace. Let's
like compromise.
Let's sign a treaty. Let's sign a treaty. Yeah, because it's like
it's gone to this. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do something because this is not helping anybody. This is making things worse. Everybody here can agree that nobody wants to end up with somebody who's not doing anything with their lives.
Yeah.
No matter the sex. Can we all agree that if a woman, guys and women, can we all agree that if a woman wants to stay home and take care of kids and the husband is working and he's happy with that, can we all agree that there's nothing wrong with that? Can we all not shame people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it falls apart when women be like, well, what if the woman wants to work and the guy can stay home, right?
Yeah.
Then guys will get up in arms but these guys will get up because like, no, I'm a man. I gotta provide for my family because they're worth something. Only guys, and I don't want to say that, but only guys, you should be suspicious of guys who are like, fine, I'll stay home. I'll watch the kids.
Yeah. Or not only that, they're very concerned about how much money you make.
Yeah. And it's like.
I mean, I don't think they should not care. I mean, about like what you do for work, because that's another thing that's going around. Like, I see a lot of these podcasters are talking about like, oh, a guy doesn't care about a woman's career, how much money she makes, and all this and all that.
But they do though.
Yeah.
Ultra successful men don't care. They don't need them.
Yeah.
Average men, they do, and they should, because it's part of the vetting process.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you're 25, 26, you're not working, you're not doing anything.
Anything, yeah.
You know what I mean? And women have to look at that and be like, yes, men are right for looking at women at that age suspiciously.
Yeah. But that's the key thing he's just said right now. He said average men. And the problem right now is that the majority of the women, regardless if they're considered average or not, because I from what I've seen, I think most women think that they're not average. They're targeting the 1% of men.
That's another thing too.
So
I think
average men are invisible. So it's
average men are invisible. So whenever women air out grievances, for the most part, they're airing out grievances of how they've been treated by the top males. And they're distributing that venom to like the men the invisible men seem to only be visible when they're spreading, when they have venom spread towards their direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think there has to be some kind of peace agreement between the sexes.
Definitely.
an acknowledgement on both parts, by both parties. Yeah, my sex has done some egregious things to your sex, and your sex has done some egregious things.
Crazy how we've gotten to this place, to this point.
So you know you have the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill, and the white pill. This is the new pill.
The new pill, yeah, you're
the
right.
The mixed pill.
The mixed pill. The cure. The cure.
Yeah.
It's the cure.
The medicine.
The medicine. The actual medicine after all the trials.
Yeah. This is the mixed pill right here. You know what I mean? I think because nobody's being honest. Like I was watching a YouTube video. Some lady was like, "Oh, 10 signs to watch from a guy that should be red flags."
Yeah.
And then one of her first signs she said was like, "If a guy posts a thirst trap, that's a red flag." And then she goes on, and this is, and you gotta be genuine. Yeah. This right here is disingenuous. She was like, you know, if a guy posts a thirst trap, that's a red flag. When a woman puts a thirst trap, it's different because, you know, they might be feeling themselves that way.
Wow.
Bro, I didn't even make it past the first minute of that video. I'm like, bro, come on. See, you're being disingenuous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was with you until you said, what a woman does is okay. But I'm like,
there's an audience for that, though. That's the thing. People want to hear that, and it goes for the red pill too. Look, they like the people that are, instead of bettering themselves, women or men, what they end up doing is like, yeah, there's someone out there fighting for me.
People talk about how men hate women. Yeah. Like, men talk about women how they hate. Men talk about women like they hate them. Not enough people talk about how there are women who hate men to the point where they give that type of advice. And I'm not saying she hates the men, but it's like, bro, come on, bro. You're not preaching equality here. You're preaching privilege without responsibilities.
Yeah.
I think the mixed pill is both sides coming to the table, coming to an agreement, and saying, look, we're going to tell our people this. You got to tell your people that.
Yeah.
Let's all work together so we can make...
And I think it starts with all the major influencers out there that have some sort of audience that are either...
Stop bringing 20-year-old women who have no life experience and then kicking them out of the show.
Maybe you know what should happen? All these YouTubers, all these gurus, relationship gurus should get together in a panel and discuss respectfully.
Bring on married couples.
The mixed pill, man.
Bring on married couples to your show. Find out what makes their marriage successful, and then try to find out the common theme underlying all those marriages.
Yeah.
And then that's what people should start looking for.
Damn, sounds like a cure for a disease.
It is the mixed pill. You heard it here first. The mixed pill.
The mixed pill, man.
Yeah, but I don't have anything. What do you got to say?
Nah, man. I think we covered everything for this week, man.
Sweet. And hopefully it sounds good, and we're gonna upload this. And you guys take care, man.
All right. See you next week.
Peace.